everyone, it's Melanie, and welcome back to Living Luxuriously for Less, where we celebrate, decorate, and enjoy everyday life for less. So, today I'm going to be sharing with you guys a beautiful wedding that my team and I decorated earlier this season. I purposely saved this footage because I felt like it was the color palette was so appropriate and so beautiful for like a Christmas themed wedding. And I'm not sure if you guys love watching Hallmark movies as much as I do. If you do, comment down below that you are a Hallmark movie watcher. But they kicked off this season with one of my favorite Hallmark movies of all times, and it was called Jingle Bell Bride, and they were looking for a specific flower, and that's exactly how I felt, when we were designing this wedding. I wanted to kind of mix the reds and the burgundies and use like all different shades and tones of reds as the pop of color, and use the gold as more of my basic color. So I kind of switched it around. Normally you would use like metallics, gold or silver or rose gold, any of those bronzy or metallic colors as your pop of color, or your accent color, and then you would use your bases like reds and greens and blushes and things like that as your main color. But because the bridesmaids dresses were a beautiful candy apple red, I didn't want the linens to clash with that, and I wanted to keep it very soft and very elegant. So if you've always dreamed of a Christmas wedding, or if you're planning an intimate Christmas wedding or event in the future, definitely consider this color palette because it's very classy and very elegant. Speaking of elegance, I absolutely love the bow look on the chargers. I just think it's so much, brings so much class and sophistication to the place settings. And the bling, I absolutely love my bling from totallydazzled.com. I hope you guys were able to rack up on the 99-cent sale that they recently had. Oh my gosh, it was so freaking amazing. And I just felt like the bling just bounced so beautifully off of the chandelier and the light, and it just adds so much to the table. So for the chairs, the venue already had, these garden style chairs, and the bride wanted to stick with those chairs. So I brought in that extra white in the backdrops and in the chair, the skirting around the table. I got this beautiful skirt. I wanted it to feel like a bride's train. The train that kind of, how the train kind of, lays so elegantly and so beautifully around the table. That's what I wanted it to do. So I wanted to create that look, and this is a table skirt that I was able to pick up from eFavorMart. So you guys, I will leave a link to that down below. And then on their table, I just wanted to include lots of bling because the bride let me know that she was definitely a bling girl. So I included lots of bling and fresh florals, very low florals, and we also added some greenery into the vases, the hurricane vases that held floating candles. Again, for the live flowers, we use mixes of eucalyptus and light flower red, and the darker reds like the burgundies. I absolutely love the florist that does these for me is Kaleidoscope, which is a local florist here. On the day of the wedding, it's really hard. We had to do like 17 bouquets, and we also mixed in some live florals with the larger centerpieces that we did. So I definitely wanted to outsource the lower floral arrangements because we already had so much floral work to do, and it did cut down on our time on the day of setup. So yeah, it turned out absolutely amazing. You guys see the greenery that we put inside of the floating candles. It just added a little bit more interest and texture to just a floating candle. So that's one way that you can spice things up. If it's Christmas time, you can also add like cranberries and different mints and things like that in the water. Is completely safe, and it just brings so much texture and interest to the space. So that's exactly what we had in mind when we designed that area. We did do some uplighting, and if you guys are interested in where we get our uplights, I will leave a link down below. And for this place setting, we use the beaded chargers along with 2 different napkins. The bling napkin on top is definitely for decorative purposes only, and the bottom satin napkin on the bottom is what they would use, while eating dinner. And the mirror that you see engraved there is from the Dollar Tree. It's the octagon shape, and we just had it monogrammed. Sharonda monogrammed it for me. You guys are going to see so many amazing projects that I have coming up with a new Cricut machine that I have. So I'm going to share with you guys how you can upgrade your weddings and your events, or your place settings at home by using the Cricut. We also did bride on the bride side as well, and then as you can see, the mirror reflects the beautiful centerpieces and bling that is hanging down over it. So absolutely gorgeous. Okay, all right, you guys, so that is how we design the head table. And then for the guest tables, we mix the high florals and the low florals. For those of you guys who have taken Lux Academy, or that are interested in taking Lux Academy, you guys probably know that I'm always all about design. So you can definitely see how the lows and the highs were mixed across the room to just bring interest and depth. So I absolutely love the way that it turned out. So I'm going to give you guys just another overall panoramic view of the space, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so for the cake, we decided to just do one cake, and we put some small bouquets on either side of the cake, which we later use for toss bouquets. You guys know I love a double purpose item. For the cake, we just did the bride's, one cake for the bride and for the groom. We didn't do a bride and a groom cake. I know that in some areas it is traditional to do both, like here in the South, but in some areas, one wedding cake is perfectly acceptable. So I'm not sure about your area, but here in the South, we typically do 2, but I was so elated when this bride decided to do just one cake, because I've just seen so many cakes go to waste. Unfortunately, I did not get enough footage of the outside decor, but for this event, outside was absolutely beautiful, and it was very spacious. We wanted to keep all of the guests separated and safe by household and according to COVID guidelines issued by the CDC earlier this year. And I am so blessed and so fortunate to say that, with each of the events that I've hosted and held this year, we put so many different things in place, and none of our guests contracted COVID by attending any of these events. We've never had an outbreak, and I give God the glory for that and for the wisdom that he gave to me to create, such a robust program that was able to assist my clients in keeping their guests and themselves and my team safe. So if you guys are interested in that class, I will leave a link down below. I'm going to be doing a 3-day intensive, so I definitely advise you guys to sign up. Right now, I know a lot of states are going back on lockdown, and if that pertains to you, then I say, I'm not doing events over 10 people right now, if that's what your state, guidelines are. But if once things start to change and pick back up, we don't need to just let our guards back up. We still we need to make sure that we are ensuring the safety of not only the guests, but our brides and our teams and our clients. So definitely this class is going to be worthwhile. Even if you just do events at church or whatever, wherever there's a large gathering, if it's a school, if it's at work, I feel like this class will be very beneficial for you. And again, it's going to be a 3-day intensive. You don't want to miss out. And it's going to be a 3-hour class for 3 days. So it'll be an hour for each day. I will leave that link down in the description box below. I hope you guys are enjoying your holidays. And until next time, it's Melanie with Living Luxuriously for Less. Cheers!